Morning, everybody. One of the greatest motivational speakers of our time, Les Brown, had his whole life changed in a moment when his high school teacher gave him this advice: someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. That's how powerful we are. Our thoughts, our opinions of others affect everything and everyone around us, but it doesn't have to shape your reality. So, one of the things we have to always constantly be on guard for is what opinions are we allowing to influence our creation of our reality? Because our reality is just the now and it's from your thoughts. What are you thinking about yourself? So, be careful what opinions you allow into your mind because they don't have to become your reality. Have a great day, everybody.
Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feeling that power you have, your determination to control your breathing. The same way you can take control of your mind anywhere you are, whatever you're doing. Let's use that same power, that same determination to see in our mind the image, the visions that we want to create today in our lives. Let's see ourselves doing the best we can on all of the stretches and exercises we do together here and now. Let's use that power we have, our true being, our presence, our determination to see in our mind right now, go into the future. Think about what you want to make real. Bring it to the present. That music goes off. All right, good morning, determination. How's everyone doing today? Another beautiful day here, outdoors. If you're indoors, wherever you are, let's go, everybody. Here we go. Another wonderful moment together. Another great day in the gym of life. Gym of life never ends. So here we go. We're going to start when I say go. We're going to start jogging on the spot, doing the best jog we can, best jog we've ever done, or we can simply walk on the spot. So depending on how much space you have, we should be able to do this within the space that we have. So here we go. Ready, everybody? When I say go, your best jog ever. Ready? And go. Still focused on our breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Feeling the joy of you commanding your body. Remember, you're the boss of your mind. Your mind is the boss of your body. Almost there. Let's go, everybody. Keep going. Feel the power of our heart starting to beat a little bit faster. our breathing becoming a little bit more difficult, but feel our power still controlling our breathing. And stop. All right, back to our best walk, either side to side, or simply walking on the spine. But focused on our breathing, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Oh wow, what a day. What another pristine, perfect day. Enjoy every moment, wherever you are, enjoy this. Enjoy your power, your gift, to always work on your mind and your body. Always in the gym of life. Okay, everybody, let's start with our 10 shoulder rolls forward. Here we go, ready? And go. Feel the joy of you rolling your shoulders forward, being able to do that. Backwards, all the way up and around, as high as you can towards your ears, all the way around. Let's do 10. Alright, and stop. Let's do arm circles forward, big arm circles. 10 forward. Alright, now let's go backwards. Again, just feel the joy of you controlling your body to move through space. All through the power and control of your own determination. Alright, good work everybody. Hands on your hips, bend your knees and side stretch. 5 on each side. Alright, and let's do twists. Again, 5 on each side, feet flat on the floor. Really think about what you're doing. Really enjoy being in this moment, here, right now. The power of your presence. Alright, everyone, and let's reach for the ceiling on our toes or reach for the sky, wherever you are. Here we go. Holding it for 10 seconds. Alright, and now reach for your toes, straight knees. Again, feel the joy, the striving. Reaching for your toes, even if you can't touch them yet. Always yet. You get to work on it all the time. Back up. Okay, let's work on our balance. Grab one leg and find your balance. Bend the other knee if you have to. Hold it for 10. Pull that leg back. Feel the power of you finding your balance in this moment. Hold it there. And switch to the leg. And bend that knee. Imagine you've got roots growing under your feet, going through the ground. You're immovable. See it in your mind right now. Excellent. All right, and let's hug our knee this time. Bend the other knee if you have to. Big hug. And find that balance again. Hold it for 10 seconds. Lose your balance, you get it right back. Feel your mind controlling your body. Feel you controlling your mind right now. And switch to the side. Find that balance, bend that other knee, and bring that leg up all the way up. All right, excellent, everyone. Let's do 5 push-ups together. Here we go.
Henri, Messi, magical!
Oh, goodness.
That was a rather clumsy foul on the edge of the area. Balls to Messi! They don't need the free kick when they've got Lionel Messi. much better teams than them would struggle against Barcelona in this form. Here's Messi, easily past the challenge. Messi, brilliant! Such a
Gabor is a world-renowned physician, author, and trauma expert whose work has transformed the way we understand addiction, stress, and childhood development. He went from growing up in war-torn Budapest and struggling with the long-lasting effects of early trauma to becoming a globally respected voice in healing, writing best-selling books, and helping millions reconnect with their inner truth and emotional well-being. Need motivation?
Watch the top 10 with Believe Nation.
If you've been here before, drop a hashtag Believe in the comments below so I can feature you here in a future video. And if you're new, welcome to Believe Nation, the only channel that helps you believe in yourself daily, one video at a time. Thank you. All right, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Be playful.
There's a book written by a palliative care nurse in Australia, and I used to work in palliative care. And it's called The Top 5 Regrets of Dying People. And she's talking to people who died before their time, from cancer usually. One of the regrets is that they worked too hard, they didn't play enough. Now, playfulness is built into our brains. All mammals play. Bear cubs play, lion cubs play, puppies, kittens, they all play. We're wired for play. Why? Because play is essential for a number of things. One is essential for brain development. It's much more important for brain development than academic learning. I'm talking about scientifically, brain physiologically. So play is important. Play is also important to form relationships. Because in play, you can kind of roughhouse a bit, but you're not actually being enemies. So you're making friends that way. So play is essential. Winnie the Pooh, which is one of my all-time favorite books.
Why is it one of your all-time favorite books?
Well, it's so playful. And but at the very end, and I know you're married to Chris Robbins, which is Christopher Robin. Anyway, there's a passage at the end of the book, Winnie the Pooh, where Christopher, the boy, by the way, him and his father had a terrible relationship, which is a whole other issue. I'm talking about the real Christopher Robin, but the fictional Christopher Robin is now growing up, and he has to go to school, which means he won't be able to play with his animals anymore. And he's trying to explain this to these animals, including Winnie the bear. And the book ends with this statement that I'll paraphrase, where it says, they go off walking together hand in hand. And the book ends with, but whatever they do, and wherever they go in the enchanted forest, a little boy and his bear will always be playing together. And that passage as an adult would bring me to tears. Because as a kid, as an infant, I wasn't played with. My mother was way too terrorized and depressed to play with me. And kids, peekaboo, play starts so early. It's essential for our mental health. It's essential for our brain development. So these poor people who were looking back on their lives and saying, I wish I had played more. Play is just essential. And I have to say that one of the things that has kept our marriage going 55 years now is that we play so well together. And we're just playing all the time when we're not fighting, which by the way, is long gone. Not long gone, but gone. Play is just essential.
Rule number 2, ask for help.
Have you seen this book by this British guy called Charlie McKeesey called The Boy, the Mole, the Horse, and the Fox?
No.
Okay. It's one of these children's books that are for adults, that is for adults. It's mostly illustrations. He's a wonderful illustrator. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. It's an international bestseller, sold millions of copies. Amongst these 4 friends, the horse is the wisest one. And at some point, they ask the horse, what's the most courageous thing you ever said? And the horse says, help. Now, people are ashamed of themselves. They don't even ask for help. So shame is debilitating.
Rule number 3, discover the root of the problem.
A lot of people are facing challenges. A lot of people are very hard on themselves. A lot of people think there's something wrong with them. My fundamental understanding and what I've learned is that underneath there's nothing wrong with anybody, that everything you're dealing with came along for a reason, they were adaptations or they were responses to difficult situations. And the more you can understand where your issues came from, and even when your negative self-view and the shame and the self-loathing and the self-criticism and the perfectionism that you experience, that they were actually responses to some kind of life experience, and that fundamentally there was and there is nothing wrong with you, and those things can be looked at, and you can understand them, and you can transform that and really become yourself, who you are. That's available to you. It's available to everybody. So nobody's damaged goods.
Rule number 4, ask why the pain.
Many people still believe in Ireland and the world that addiction is a choice.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Well, it's probably the Western world's most addicted population. In Vancouver's downtown east side.
I've read about it,
It's an area where we have thousands of people addicted, injecting, inhaling, ingesting all kinds of drugs and all kinds of historical reasons. There's a kind of a congregation of those people in that area of Vancouver. And I worked with them for 12 years, and I've dealt with addictions. I've yet to meet anybody who said, I woke up one morning and I said, hey, my ambition is to become an addict. It just doesn't happen. What happens is that people have pain they may not even realize that they have, but there's some sense of discomfort. Then they engage in a behavior, whether it's pornography, and all of a sudden they feel alive. Or they do heroin like you did, and they feel warmth and love inside. And naturally they want more. But since my mantra is, don't ask why the addiction, ask why the pain. Whoever chooses to be in pain. Now, on a superficial level, everything is a choice. But what people don't realize is that the choices that people make on a conscious level are very often determined and moved by unconscious factors that they're not aware of. And with that conscious awareness, I mean, you read a book called Awareness. That's one of the other books that really was an inspiration.
I read it every year.
Yeah, I thought to look at it myself after I read your recommendation. But without awareness, there's no freedom. So you can't talk about anybody making choices.
Also, if you want to take real action after this video, I made a free worksheet just for you. It covers the top lessons from today, gives you space to write your biggest takeaways, and helps you build a simple action plan. It's 100% free. Just click the link in the description below to go grab it. I'll see you there. Rule number 5, resolve your trauma.
Morning, everybody. In our top 10 rules for success today, Les Brown gives us his advice that we have to stand up to ourselves. So stand up to yourself. Stand up to that inner voice that's always going to be there when you chase your dreams, when you go after your happiness, your freedom, your success, your health, in whatever form you desire. You have to stand up to that voice inside your head every single day that says, you can't do this. Who do you think you are? What will people think of you? All these thoughts, all these negative thoughts, and I'm doing it every day, battling it every day. Every time a negative thought comes in, I'm shutting it down. I'm choosing a positive thought and replacing it. It's that standing up to yourself, the older, smaller you, the new, greater you has to be stronger and more determined. You have to do that every single day. And Les Brown reminds us of that. Have a great day, everyone. That's 5 push-ups. If you got to keep your knees down, go ahead. Whatever you do your best. 5 sit-ups. What a moment. All right, and let's do 5 squats. Our best 5 squats. Here we go. Feet flat on the floor, looking straight ahead. Bending the knees all the way down, all the way up. All right, let's do lunges now. 3 on each side. Best lunges. Keep that back straight if we can, looking straight ahead. Excellent. All right, let's do 10-second plank. Belly's knees off the ground.
Always thinking about our breath. Bringing ourselves back into our presence, our being. Okay, and let's sit down and reach for our toes, everybody. Here we go. Ready? Straight knees, we're reaching for your toes. Doing the best we can. Always working on motivating our minds, because we know our bodies will follow. And V shape with our legs, reaching for the floor as far away from our body as we can. Holding it there. And reach for one side, hold it there. Again, feel the joy of reaching, striving, doing your best. Even if you aren't able to reach where you want to be yet. And switch to the other side. Feel the power of you winning right now. Control of your mind. Alright, and let's put our feet together and gently push our knees down with our elbows. Here we go. Hold it there for 10. Feel the power of infinite intelligence in you, me, and all of us right now. Okay, one leg forward, one leg back. Go as far back as you can. Keep that knee on the ground. Keep that knee down. Make sure you're not hurting yourself. You should just feel a pull, not any pain. Okay, and switch to the other side. Roll onto our belly and push the ground or the floor and look up at the ceiling or the sky, wherever we are. Here we go. Cobra stretch. Hold it there for 10. Feel the power of your being right here, right now. Okay, and legs crossed again. Back straight. Eyes closed. Breathing in through our noses and out through our mouths. Here we go. Going into the future, into our imagination right now. Seeing what we want to do our best on today when that music goes on. For me, I'm going to be working on 2 exercises. One is lunges, as many lunges as I can do within the first song. The second song, as many sit-ups as I can do until that song is over. So what about you? See it in your mind right now. You can play 2 of your own songs. You can listen to the songs I have. But choose your own exercises. If you don't like the ones I'm doing, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing, whatever you want to do, whatever movement you want to do safely and effectively, see it in your mind right now before you bring it out into the world. You've got determination. You were born to win. To bring out all your visions, all your positive visions of yourself, of people, of the world. The way we do our best on these exercises when that music goes on is an expression, a reflection of the way we do our best at everything in the gym of life. Here we go, determination, lunges for me. You can follow if you want, or you can do whatever it is you want to do, your squats, sit-ups, a dance movement, jumping jacks, whatever exercise you want to do. Here I go. Ready? doing right now. Keep going. Remember your breathing. Don't forget your breathing. I love it. This is the best. This moment is the best. Wherever you are, wherever you go, you get to always work on being your best at whatever you're doing. And that starts with our determination, controlling our minds, no matter what. No matter how tired, how much discomfort we feel, we have the power to choose.
So Lit Mobile just sent me this solar wireless battery pack.
Getting rid of that commercial for a second.
I really like the build. It's got hand grips on the side. It's sharp.
And we'll keep going. Keep going. We don't let anything stop us. Until that song's over. Every moment counts. If you're doing lunges with me right now, I'm proud of you. You're up. Keep going. As it gets harder, we work harder. That's how powerful we are. We have that determination, that choice, that winning choice. Keep going. Song's not over. Keep going. Your music, that stuff inside you, for me it's determination, and I know we got it all in all of us. So I use it every day. Let's go. You're using it now. Keep going. Music's still playing. Our music's still going. Alright, next song. Proud of my effort. Proud of you. If you haven't given up, keep going.
Fine run again from Henri, squares it back, and there's goal number 2.
Henri, Messi, Ronaldinho, Messi. Wonderful. The tantalizing trident does it again.
Vamos a ver lo que hace Tevez ahí ante Fichero. Tiene que jugar atrás. Messi. Messi que dispara. ¡Gol!
How does unresolved trauma impact the way that you deal with stress as an adult?
So, the body's stress regulation apparatus, which is physiological, it has to do with the connection between certain brain centers down to the adrenal gland, which is the stress gland, you might say. No child is born with stress regulation. Infants don't know how to regulate their stresses.
Well, neither do adults.
Well,
Right?
as you say in your book, most adults are 8 years old, if that. But I thought that was pretty generous. It might have been 3 or 4 years old. Well, stress regulation, like other functions, has to develop. So that when something stressful happens, I know how to face it without being overwhelmed. And that depends on the development of these brain circuits and receptors for brain chemicals. Now, trauma interferes with the development of the body's stress regulation apparatus. So that become adults and we don't know how to handle stress. And then we seek escape. So one of the ways that people escape from stress is addictive behaviors. You know, for example, so if you talk about or talk to addicts, or if I feel like at my own addictive behaviors, even if I go quote unquote sober for a while, and then I relapse, what usually happened is that I got stressed. And then I reach for that addictive outlet as a way of soothing my stress. So that's how it shows up. But physiologically, it shows up by a dysregulation of the body's stress regulation apparatus. So there's not just psychological, we're talking physiology here. And you've done studies in laboratory animals where the way the mother handles that infant rat pup in the first few days of life will have an impact on the adult rat's capacity to handle stress. And if you take the rats, by the way, whose mothers don't handle them as well, and you put them with mothers who do, their brains develop normally. So it's not a genetic effect. It's what's called an epigenetic effect. It's the environment acting on the genes.
Which is why we come back to your original point. No human being is damaged goods.
No.
That the good news is that if you can recognize that your response to stress and traumatic situations and overwhelming emotional situations is something that you can identify and change, that's what the opportunity is here in terms of being able to heal and resolve trauma.
Absolutely. And especially if you begin by recognizing that it's not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you.
Rule number 6, understand the definition of addiction.
What I read about your stuff, what I see about your content, is a lot of people are lost based on trauma. And past traumas cause certain addictions or certain behaviors and routines that maybe are some healthy addictions or unhealthy addictions, but it seems to be like a lot of unhealthy addictions.
Well, can I interrupt right there?
Yes, please.
No such thing as a healthy addiction.
No such thing.
If it's healthy, it's not an addiction. If it's an addiction, it's not healthy. There are passions, there are habits that are healthy, but they're not addictions. I define,
like working out. Like
well, that can be an addiction, or it can be healthy. Right. Like eating can be healthy, or it could be an addiction. I define addiction as any behavior in which a person finds temporary pleasure or relief and therefore craves, but then suffers negative consequences and cannot give it up. So if you're suffering negative consequences, so it's craving relief, pleasure in the short term, harm in the long term, inability to give it up, that's what an addiction is. Now, if you have a behavior that's ongoing, but it has no negative consequences, it's not an addiction. It's a passion, it's a pleasure, it's a habit.
It's a healthy habit.
It's a healthy habit. So for me, it's not an addiction. And also, a healthy habit, a person, if it no longer works for them, they can give it up. So for me, there's no healthy addiction.
There's no healthy addiction.
Yeah, in fact, the word addiction comes from a word for slavery. So there's no healthy slavery.
Interesting. So addiction, what is the root of addiction? The
word?
Yeah.
So in Roman times, an addictus was somebody who was assigned to another person to serve them because they owed them money and they couldn't pay it back.
An addictus.
Yeah, addictus was like a indentured slave who had to work off the debt. So that's what the word actually comes from, is slavery, is a form of slavery.
So if you're addicted to something, you are a slave to that craving.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have no choice. You can. A slave has no choice.
Rule number 7, have the courage to be yourself.
If I am always being a nice guy so that you'll like me, but inside I'm feeling all these emotions that I'm not sharing with you, that's pretty lonely. Even though you might like me because I'm showing you this nice side of myself.
Right, that's not really me.
That's not me. There was a study done in Australia, or at least I used to work in palliative care as a doctor, looking after dying people. In Australia, there was a palliative care nurse who wrote a book called The Top 5 Regrets of Dying People. These were people that were dying before their time, like I used to look after, of cancer or chronic neurological illness. You know what the top regret of dying people was? That they didn't have the courage to be themselves. And the third top regret was that they didn't have the courage to express their emotions. They pretended to be happy when they were not, and so on. So the question for the rest of us is, do we want to wait till some terminal illness wakes us up? Or should we just confront the fact that in so many ways we're afraid to be authentic because we're so afraid of being rejected? And as children, we didn't have much choice. As adults, can we develop that freedom to be ourselves?
Rule number 8, focus on the present.
I think sometimes people get so stuck in healing their past, and that becomes like the main focus of their life, that they don't focus on the future at all, which is what they really need to work on to better themselves.
Actually, no. It's not a question of working on the future.
or the past. It's working on the present. Because here's the deal. Trauma is not what happened to us. Trauma is what happened inside us as a result of what happened to us. So for reasons I explain in the book, I got the message in the first year of my life that I wasn't wanted. Okay? The trauma is not the war and the genocide amidst which I spent my first year. That wasn't the trauma. Those were the traumatic events. The trauma was the wound, which is in my belief that I wasn't wanted and I'm not worthy. That's the trauma. But that's the good news. Because if the trauma was what happened to me, that was 78 years ago. It's over and done with. I can't change the past. I'll never not have been born as a Jewish infant under Nazi occupation. That'll never not have happened. Whatever happened to you, that'll never not have happened. But if the trauma is my belief that I'm not worthy, I can heal that in the present. And healing the present. So it's not a question of changing the past. It's a question of changing your relationship to the past in the present moment. So I could be embittered, and believe me, I have been, about the death of my grandparents in Auschwitz. I could be embittered about my infancy, and believe me, I have been. Or I could be damn grateful that I survived and have been able to pursue work and relationships that have been so meaningful to me. But it all depends on which angle I'm looking at it from. As long as I'm looking at it from a traumatic angle, I'm just embittered and despondent. I can't change the past, but I can change the present. Now, needless to say, I'm not giving you a formula. I'm just telling you my personal story. If I could look at it in this world, and on a bad day, by the way, I still don't. But if I can look at this world as a world in which there's a place for me, in which I can find meaning and love, my future is very different. So it's the present we need to work on. We need to work on what beliefs and body states do we hold in the present that limit us.
Guys, today I want to share with you a story from Les Brown once again, and it's an amazing analogy he uses when describing our mind being a garden. And he gives the example of weeds and how they are representative of our negative thoughts. And he says in a humorous sort of way how we don't need to water, we don't need to take care of, we don't need to nurture, we don't need to plan, organize weeds. The growth of weeds, they're going to happen anywhere. They'll grow out of the cracks of sidewalks. And when I heard that example, I was laughing because I thought it's so true. Weeds are like negative thoughts in our minds. And we have to, if we don't do anything about what's going on in our head in terms of controlling our thoughts, those weeds, those negative thoughts will grow wild and rampant and take over our minds. So as we live, laugh, and love our way to infinite mind wealth, we have to remember the analogy of the weeds. The weeds will grow no matter what. They'll be there. They're the default. So we have to control it. Have a great day.
All right, sit up for me. Here we go. Always control your breathing. Bring it back to that. See, the fact that you can still control your breathing, even when your body wants to breathe faster, that's more proof of your determination. You got it in you all the time, no matter what. You can apply this, you can use this energy, whatever you're doing, wherever you are. The way you talk, the way you behave, the way you read, write, the way you're kind and loving, use determination. Use your power to be positive and never give up. Just like we're doing right now, on these exercises, on these sit-ups. We're not giving up, no matter how hard it's getting. See, we know the truth. we do what is easy, we give up. Our life will be hard. But if we do what is hard, we never give up, our life will be easy. So we gotta remember that all the time. That's the power of our determination. Controlling our mind. Motivating the mind so the body will follow. Keep going, determination. I'm so proud of you wherever you are. Just because you are who you are. Strive to be better all the time. You are infinite intelligence. We are double I. Infinitely intelligent. Powerful beyond measure. We don't choose to lose. We determine and win. Still with me? Keep going. I love you. So proud of you. Keep going. Even if you stop. Get back up at it again. Keep going. This is the way you're gonna live. Even if you stop, even if you get tired, even if you make mistakes, you're gonna learn. You're gonna get information. And you're gonna eventually win. How powerful you are. That's why I love you and all of us. No matter what. Oh, long song. That's okay. That's good. Love it. Keep going. Our body will rest and recover. Almost there. Keep going, everybody. Keep going. Oh, well done. So proud of you.
Con la pierna izquierda ya va Messi. Gol.
Low centre of gravity again. Just drifts past players, doesn't he?
They've taken it quickly, and Messi's on the charge. Oh, what a fabulous goal! What a
If we deal with that present, the future will take care of itself.
Number 9, express anger.
The suppression, the repression of healthy anger is a major risk factor for illness. It actually suppresses the immune system for reasons I will tell you later. So there's basically 3 ways of dealing with anger. One is to repress it, like this woman did. So these are the people that are always nice. You know, they're always nice. I worry about really nice people. The other way is to give in to it and to act it out, to go into rages. That's also unhealthy. The first, the repression of anger, leads to autoimmune disease and cancer. When you're raging all the time, that increases your risk of heart disease and strokes. So in the aftermath, the studies have shown that in the aftermath of a rage episode, your risk of a heart attack doubles for the next 2 hours. Then there's the healthy expression of anger, or the healthy processing of anger, which most of us don't know how to do. We either do the one or we do the other. I'll talk to you about healthy anger later. But how do we deal with anger has a crucial effect on our health. And this guy writes, you know, she had no ego. She just blended in with the environment in an unassuming manner. And this is supposed to be a good thing. Now, my wife's name is Ray, and she's an artist, and it's one of her paintings that provided the detail here on the cover and the color scheme for the cover for this book. And sometimes I say to Ray, you know, we've been married 42 years. I go, well, why can't you blend in with the environment in an unassuming manner? But Ray has done her psychological work, and she's read my book, and she's also seen the studies. You know, there was a study just 4 or 5 years ago presented at a major medical conference that looked at 1,700 women over a 10-year period. And over a 10-year period, out of these women, those who were unhappily married and suppressed their feelings were 4 times as likely to die as those who were also unhappily married but expressed their feelings. So the issue wasn't happy marriage or unhappy marriage. The issue was, did the woman express herself or did she not? So when I come to this point at my talk, this permits me to reassure the men in the audience that the next time you think your wife is a bitch, you should be glad about it.
And number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is learn to say no.
Prior to your awakening and transformational journey that you undertook sometime in your 40s, how easy did you find it to say no to other people's expectations?
Oh, I couldn't.
Okay, so you couldn't say no?
No.
All right. So I ask people this question: where in your life do you have difficulty saying no? It shows up in 2 areas, work and in personal life. Okay, so you couldn't say no. The second question I ask people then is, what's the impact on you of your difficulty saying no?
It's exhausting. I don't like my own behavior.
Yeah, so it's this shame.
Lack of control.
Loss of control. Loss of control, by the way.
Anger. Blaming other people and making it their fault that I can't say no.
That's right. And loss of control is one of the most significant triggers for stress, by the way, according to the stress literature.
Well, that makes sense because we have a biological hardwired need for safety.
Exactly.
Which we try to achieve by controlling everything and everyone around us.
Only because we learned in childhood that if we didn't, there'd be no safety. If we had learned that there was safety, we would trust the world a lot more and we wouldn't have to control. So nobody's a control freak. Nobody's born a control freak. It's an adaptive trait is what that is. Let me tell you about a friend of mine who lives in Calgary. Her name is Shannon Duke. And Shannon is 48 years old now. And when she was 37, she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. Now, stage 4 meant that the cancer was already in her bones by the time it was diagnosed. At that time, she had 2 young children, aged 1 and 3, and married to a well-to-do businessman. She herself was a very high-functioning executive for Microsoft in Calgary. And then she's diagnosed. She had a perfect life, perfect marriage, perfect home, of course. And then she's diagnosed. And healthy, physically, you know, fit, always ate well. And then she's diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And she has a transformation. Now, she gets the best medical advice she can get anywhere in North America, and she traveled to New York and elsewhere. And she got the best medical treatment, and with that, she was given 1 year to live, because that's the prognosis. Stage 4, despite the medical treatment, chances are you'll be dead in 1 year. Now, a year ago in February, just a year ago now, Shannon traveled to the Napa Valley of California with some of her friends, and they celebrated her 10th year survival and her 47th birthday. And the transformation that she experienced was that when she was diagnosed and started paying attention, she realized that her life had not been her life, because she was sexually abused as a child. And her response to the abuse was, of course, as many children will experience, it can't be about the adults, it's about me. So if this terrible thing happened to me, I must be a very bad person. So I have to be very good to compensate. So you're the good daughter who doesn't talk about it, doesn't disturb the waters, the good employee, the good student, the good wife who doesn't talk about the husband's addiction issues, because that would again disturb the waters. And when she's diagnosed and she decides she wants to live, she says, the hell with all this perfection and goodness. And she confronts her family a virgin about the abuse that she had endured, and she confronts her husband, and she starts living authentic, and she leaves the job, by the way, which wasn't her. Wasn't really expressing who she was. Now, 11 years later, the cancer is still in her bones, but it's completely inactive. But she knows that if she wants to stay alive, she needs to stay authentic. So that I believe that many of these issues are reversible. I'm not promising a cure here to anybody, but Shannon really underwent a major self-journey. And she continues every day to work at it, and she practices her spiritual ways, which she ignored all those years, and she pays attention to herself, and she keeps clearing the stuff out, and she's the picture of health. Her and I give workshops together sometime. So that there's ways to get there, but it's a commitment. And of course, it might threaten the attachment relationships. So that's always your call.
And congratulations, you're one video closer to who you're meant to be. For 10 more amazing rules from Andrew Huberman, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Double inhales followed by an extended exhale are the fastest way that I'm aware of to bring the mind and the body into a more relaxed state. 2 inhales through the nose and then exhale slow through the mouth. 1 to 3 of those.
Feel that? Feel that power, that oneness of us controlling our breathing and our minds? Right here, right now, no matter how hard our movements, exercises were today, no matter how much our body tried to take control of our minds, feel that? That's you. The real you. That's our consciousness. Our being awake fully. To control our minds, to control our breathing, to control our bodies, to control our lives. It's all possible through the power of you being present, staying in the now, right here, right now, wherever you are, wherever you are. There is no past and future right now. There is only the present, the gift that is you. You, which makes everything else possible. See, right here, right now, is just pure presence, pure happiness, pure winning, pure essence, pure determination of who and what we really are. With this power, this peace, right here in this moment, right now, we can always have all the mind health, and even greater, the mind wealth we were built for. I love your determination. Great work today. I'm so proud of you. Wherever you are, take the power of this time we had together, apply it to everything in your life. Doesn't matter whether we're in school, at work, wherever we are. The gym of life never ends. And life is the greatest teacher. That's why I love you and everything and all the infinite intelligence around us. It's life. It's always here. You're always learning, always growing. I love you, determination. Have a great day, week, and life always. Until next time.